All right, welcome to Coffee, Cocktails, and Conversations. This is a playlist that we have on the channel where we just interview people who are doing real estate investing or somehow related to real estate. And today I have with me Julie and Don. Thank you for being on the channel, Julie and Don.
Happy to be
And
here.
Happy.
you guys live in Denver and you have an Airbnb, which is where I am in right now in Winter Park, Colorado.
Exactly.
Tell me a little
Yep.
bit about how you got into the Airbnb. What led you to get into the whole Airbnb thing?
Well, we are big skiers in our family. We always wanted to have kind of a ski condo. So we decided when it came time to purchase a place that we decided on Winter Park, since it was a quick drive.
Yeah.
And we had a family history there, and we love the town.
So tell me about your unit. How did you find your unit?
We wanted at least a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We wanted to be able to at least host, a family or potentially 2. We can sleep 6 or 7 pretty comfortably. There's a master bedroom, and then what we call a bunk room, which has a bunk bed, a queen, a twin over queen. And then we also have a sofa sleeper in the main living area, so you can sleep somebody out there as well. It's just under 1,100 square feet, I believe. And we love the fact that it has that wraparound deck. So in the winter, there's free sledding. In the summer, there's free concerts, and it's fabulous. You will be able to sit on our deck and watch the concerts. Yeah, the stage is in view from our deck. So.
And so you're self-managing this unit, it sounds like?
Mm-hmm.
Because how's that been going for
Yes.
you? Finding like vendors, like cleaners and handymen. Was that just kind of trial and error type of thing?
Yeah, that was, the funny thing is that we had, there was a cleaner that was in our complex, and I looked out the window and I saw her going into one of the rooms. So I kind of ran her down. I said, hey, we're looking for a cleaner. Can you, give me your referrals? And, that's how I found mine that way.
Was it empty or was it furnished?
So it was furnished, but we only kept a couple things, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I kind of had a vision for it. Kind of wanted that modern luxury look, so we bought brand new. All the bedroom furniture is brand new in both bedrooms. And we kind of wanted to be minimalistic, so we don't have a lot on the walls. We have one piece that was special to me. But for the most part, we kind of we kept the 2 couches in the living room, and that was about it.
All right. So let's start the EdBNB portion of scoring the vacation rental. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
We're ready.
All right. For my viewers out there, if you're watching this video for the first time and you're just running across this channel, if you want to watch more vacation rental topics, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more topics like this, more videos like this. We just did one on Snowshoe, West Virginia about a week or so ago, and I'll post a link up there. Without further ado, let's get into the scoring. And the first criteria is drivability. And drivability is measured as 5-hour proximity from a major MSA. So of course, that's going to be Denver. The reason why I don't count flying in traffic is because, especially in a time like this where there's COVID, I think driving is going to be a key advantage for any vacation rental market.
Although I will say half of the people that stay at our place are flying in.
Wow, still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that maybe, probably 60-40, but yeah.
So I think Colorado skiing, the Rocky Mountains is such a unique kind of thing that people come from all over,
That's true. It's such an international draw, like Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I think, now that you bring it up, and it's a good segue into the next criteria, which is demand, is the size of the MSA. And of course, like you said, there's only about 3 million in Denver, so that only scores you at 2, whereas the proximity scores you at 5. But I think one of the criteria, one thing I can maybe tweak in that demand is trying to figure out how many million visitors the area receives. I think that could capture the air traffic a little bit better, right?
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many?
No.
Let me just Google it really quick.
No.
2017, they said about 13 million. I think that's kind of like a total in like ski area, which is very respectable.
Yeah.
All right, the third criteria is Dinero. So, and I know you've only owned this for a couple months, so we'll just do our best with this. How much was the cost to purchase a condo like this?
This was $559.
Perfect. This is right in the range. I try to look for something in the 400 to 600 range to compare apples to apples. And the last one in Snowshoe was like 100,000, so it was really hard to kind of compare. 400 to 600 is what I'm finding I think is a sweet spot to get a decent unit in a vacation rental area. About how much is it per night to book to book your rooms?
Yep. So it's about $225 a night for the weekdays and $285 on the weekends, or $295 in general for the ski season. Now Christmas week and New Year's is a little bit more, and President's Weekend and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, that's kind of where we're at.
Like most of your stays are weekend stays, right? So probably the average length of stay is 3 nights or something.
Yep, anywhere from 3 to 5. I think 6 or 7 was our longest one, but it's generally right in there.
About how many bookings would you say occur in a month? Would it be about like 4 or 5?
No, it's more like 6 to 8, or 5 to 8 or so.
Okay. What are you projecting for annual gross?
Well, we have one of our friends we met who also has a place in our complex who has the exact same condo. He did just under 50 grand last year. Yeah, I don't know if we'll have as many as he does because he's been doing it. I think he's been renting that out for about 4 years. So he's got a lot of repeat people.
Right.
So, that's certainly the high end.
Okay.
So maybe 35 or 40.
Okay.
The thing with Winter Park is there's 2 big seasons, summer and winter. And then we have this mud season in between, and then the fall season. And so it's a little hit and miss, and we're not exactly sure how that's going to play out. But we have 2 strong seasons. The summer is becoming almost as popular as the winter.
So your friend is doing about 50 with a similar unit, and that's gross, right?
The same one.
He's grossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's managing it himself as well.
Exactly.
Okay. And so after your expenses, do you expect to be left with anything, or do you feel like it's just kind of self-sustaining? Do you feel like there's going to be a net looking at your annual expenses?
Yeah, so we're an all cash deal, and so we have no debt on the place, and our monthly expenses are HOA, electricity, everything we have besides like the cleaning fees and all that. What is that number around?
It's 380, I think, per month.
Yeah, and we're getting that in 2 days, and we're probably renting 23 days, 24 or 5.
380 a month, but that doesn't include a mortgage payment, of course. So I would normally add that in just because comparing apples to apples. And it does include management fees, which we usually estimate on a very low end. If you were kind of like self-managing but hired someone to do bookings, then you could expect to pay maybe, if you're expecting maybe like 40 bookings a year. Does that sound realistic?
No, yeah, I would say more like 50 or 55 probably.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe more, yeah.
So I'm going to say about $5,500 for management to equal the time that you would normally spend if you were kind of hiring someone. And the 3 day a month, does that include the HOA?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
that's everything out the door.
Your cleaning fees are really good.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. The cleaning is $125.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So with cleaning, it would be more like $420.
Okay. You take the entire principal, interest, tax, insurance, homeowners insurance, HOA fees, property tax, your cleaning expense. That's about $34.20 a month. If you were to leverage and get a note, $34.20 times 12 is $41,000 a year.
That's pretty close to what we think our income's going to be.
Yeah. So I think the key for like a vacation rental here is if you're going to use it, right, for personal use, it's definitely going to cover all your expenses. If you want to just, for someone like me, buy it and you're like long distance and you're not going to personally use it, it's definitely not for the EdBNB score, at least in the criteria that I use, going to be the ideal investment as far as a return, cash on cash return. Does that make sense? Because if you try to, buy a condo here and long-term rent it out, like those people who want to rent it out for 30 days or rent it out for a year, you're definitely not going to be making the type of money you're making as a short-term rental and be able to use it. All right. So I'm gonna score that a 1 just because it's more like a break even. Okay.
Well, Ed, traditionally, when you talk to people in Denver about mountain properties and all that, the general word is that they never make money. It's never, you lose all your money to the HOA. It never is that great a deal. You have to be using it a lot yourself, or else you start getting bummed out about it.
I'm finding that
we kind of thought a lot. We thought long and hard about that when we were looking at this thing, but we felt that the property we had, that specific, unique location for multi-season and the low HOA, And of course, the fact that we were all cash in made it really easy, but it seemed like it was a smart place to put it, and it's worked out really well.
Yeah. Yeah. I talked to a real estate broker in Taos, and I asked him the same question. He goes, well, the first thing I tell, people who are investors is if you're looking to make certain percentages and that type of thing, this is not the type of investment for you. But if you want a place where you can actually get some use out of it and it covers your expenses, then let's talk. And, people have different goals for different investments.
Yeah, and we think appreciation too is a big factor in where we're at. We're really one of the cheapest places in the nicest spots. So yeah, we feel like there's a lot of upside on that for our personal place. Knowing what Julie and I met in Vail, and we saw what that town did. You could buy things 20 years ago for $350,000, $400,000 that are now $1 million for.
Wow.
And we see decades from now the same thing's going to happen in Winter Park. There's only so much beachfront property. There's only so much Vail. There's only so much mountains.
Yeah, I say the strategy is very similar to like a long-term rental, which is mostly what I do. I manage long-term rentals for a living, and people who buy long-term rentals and want me to do analysis on their real estate, I tell them it's not like, well, you're going to be cash flowing this and being able to live off the cash flow. What you're counting on is you're leveraging the rent to pay it off, basically. And you're counting on the appreciation, like you said, and you're getting the tax benefits. So that's basically the same strategy as a long-term rental. So the fourth factor is fun factor. And, it is adult and kid friendly. It is 2+ seasons and good restaurants. So I'm going to give that a 5. That's pretty easy. And then friendly factor, this is our newest criteria. This is how friendly is the government to Airbnbs and vacation rentals? Are they very restrictive, or are they pretty open? How would you describe that? Are there a lot of rules in place, or are they pretty open about that?
Yeah, I think where we're at up there, it's been very open. We haven't run into any glitches or any problems at all.
Okay.
Yeah, this
a lot of people use that platform, The
community, I think there's like 800 places to choose from in Winter Park, and the community, the restaurants, the Chamber of Commerce, they got to get people in here, and there's as you probably noticed, there's really not a whole lot of hotels in town at all. It's almost all short-term rentals.
Yeah. So
it's very friendly.
The condo doesn't have any restrictions on like only a certain percentage and stuff like that. It can be rentals. Okay. That's great. All right. So let's total up the score here. We got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 out of 25 on the EdBNB score. Again, the takeaway is if you're looking for a condo in the Colorado area that hasn't experienced the crazy appreciation yet, and you want to kind of get ahead of the curve, Winter Park's the place to be. If you love skiing, especially if you're from Denver, Winter Park is a good option for the time traveled. So 18 out of 25. That's great.
We'll take it.
Any thoughts about maybe buying another one in the future once you get this kind of settled, if this goes well?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing my thought would be I'd love to get something a little bit bigger, so maybe in 5 or 7 years. It's hard to say what the market will be at that point, but that would be my only misgiving, is that we didn't get something a little bit bigger, So we love the location though. So we might even try to find something else in that complex.
Well, just take it from me. Just don't get anything that sleeps 22.
Don't worry about that.
That sounds like too much work.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your time up there.
Thank you. Good night. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. This is your favorite homeboy signing out.